Bet you can't guess what we're going to talk about today. Okay. So, anyway, let's get into the video. So, as we all know, last week, the 1962 to 66 and 1967 to 70 Beatles compilation albums were re-released with some new mixes, and on the red album 62 to 66, all tracks are stereo. So anyway, let's get into this. I'm going to comment specifically on the things that would prompt me to want to buy the 2023 set. Now, mind you, at this point, I have not bought it. Just previewed it and listened to it. Two things I'm looking for with at least this one. Okay. Not so much worried about these, because these are later recordings, and a lot of those, well, the later albums were actually recorded in stereo. The later albums. So some of the later tracks actually have always been in stereo. So anyway, back to 62 to 66. You got Please Please Me, which is on this compilation. That, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, should be the mono version of it. I believe the mono version of Please Please Me is on here. And then She Loves You. I mentioned those two songs specifically because the record quality, great, both great songs, two of my favorite early Beatle tracks. But the record quality, there's no nice way to say it. It's pure utter shit. And it's always been pure utter shit. Please Please Me, the stereo version has sync-up issues at the end. That always sounded horrible. And actually, if you pay close attention listening to the stereo version over the years, that the harmonica part before you get to I don't want to sound complaining, but you know there's always pain in my heart, that harmonica sequence right before you get to that part on the stereo version throughout the years, you can hear that's a little bit out of sync too. Then you get to the end, obviously, where we all know where there's been major sync-up issues with the harmonica and the vocals, and it's loud, and, and on the mono version, it sounds like there's a splice in the tape. So that's... Wanted to see if there was improvement with this so-called artificial intelligence that they're using. And I have to say that harmonica before the I don't want to sound complaining part, okay on the new mix. Not that bad. It sounds like it's, they threw a little polish on it. I can still hear sync-up issues with the harmonica and the vocals and stuff at the end. I'm not impressed. I really thought this artificial intelligence stuff was really supposed to fix this. This was going to be the fix, the end-all of all problems with these, with these mixes. When they prepared the new mixes, that wasn't going to be an issue anymore. And it's still prevalent. Those issues are still prevalent. So I don't like Please Please Me. She Loves You. We've always been told, oh, well, the original stereo masters were destroyed, or they were lost, or whatever. There's always been a couple of different stories I've heard throughout the years about that. But regardless, a lot of splices in that song. All you have to do is just pay attention to the sound of Ringo's cymbals. I can still hear it on the 2023 mixes. I thought they were going to clean that up. Yes, they were able to separate some things for the stereo mix. But it still sounds like you're in like a little tube here. Stereo mix is supposed to be bright and have some ambience, you know? Maybe even throw a little bit of reverb in there. It's supposed to be bright and wide. That does not sound like a stereo recording. It sounds awful. It sounds like somebody took the song and they were playing it on AM radio. You know, that to me, that's what it sounds like. Yeah, you can hear some different things on this speaker versus this speaker, but that's not true stereo. It lacks ambience. It lacks excitement. It's a great song. The song's got plenty of excitement. I always love the song, but the recording process of it was, the recording quality of it was terrible. For those of you that think they did a wonderful job with the tape splices, where it gets to the pride can hurt you to apologize to her, just listen to it. Just listen closely to Ringo's cymbals. Because you can, if you pay close attention, they get past that part, apologize to her, and then because she loves you, you can hear another splice in the tape there. Or at least what always sounded like a splice, in another splice in the tape there. Another cut in the tape, whatever you want to call it. If you pay close attention to Ringo's cymbals on that. I can still hear it. You know, that might be stereo, but it's not good stereo. It lacks fidelity. It lacks ambience. And it's not bright. I really thought the so-called artificial intelligence and stuff and this technology where they could just go in and grab a guitar track, grab the drums and create individual tracks. I thought they would, you know, maybe they need to figure out a way to, now when they create these separate individual tracks, let's make the song bright. Brighten it up a little bit. I want to hear cymbals. I don't want the cymbals to sound like they're playing it on AM radio. Because that's what it sounds like. And that to me, that sounds like shit. Okay? So, for me, this is all I need for these. I've had these for years. That's what I'm going to stick with. I have the stereo version of Please Please Me. You know, if I feel compelled to listen to that stereo version of She Loves You, I will go to the internet and listen to it. I can't justify the $70 on these new sets on the CDs, and then what do they want? I think it's like $150 for the vinyl record set. So I can't justify it. It's not worthy of me spending my money on it. Again, it's just more Giles Martin prepared crap. You know. And again, this is not a band anymore. They haven't been a band in almost 54 years. They're a brand. You know, and I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid. So anyway, that's my thoughts on the new 1962 to 66 re-release and the 1967 to 70 re-release compilation albums. You know, if you want to give your thoughts, keep the comments kind. Anything disrespectful, you're going to get blocked. You know, we're a serious channel here, but you got to be polite. Y'all have a goody-goody, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care. Have a good week.